Hello. Okay, little disclaimer. Tonight's a very boring Friday night in Kingston. Where to begin? I'm bored as fuck, and I'm a little thumpy wumpy, if you know what I'm saying. So, to start off, I don't know, I have my grandma, well, she's here right now, she's cool, it's fun. I know what I can talk about. Man, oh man, my mom today, bro, my mom and dad were skiing, and it's more than 100% likely that my mom tore her medial collateral ligament in her knee after a fall. So that sucks. She's not going to be walking for a little while. Thank God it's not her ACL, which she at first thought it was, because the ACL, as most people would know, typically requires surgery, whereas the MCL is not actually one that requires surgery. My big man, Jason Smith, Dr. Jason Smith, who did my Tommy John, actually knows that through his own means of... He was on Hockey Night in Canada with an interview about Carey Price saying, back in 2016 I should say, saying he thought a knee injury he suffered about 6 months prior to the interview was an MCL. And I mean, my mom, it's likely she did it. I mean, I looked at her leg. Oh fuck, man. Jeez, it's a bit of a tough tale of her. Like, I looked at it, it's bent, like, probably 30 to 40 degrees, like, I'm not kidding, it's like, if she really tries to straighten it, like, maybe, like, 15 to 20, but, like, when she's just laying down, it's, like, 30, 40 degrees to the fucking right. Like, her left leg is so in, man, it's gross, her knee just failed, like, straight up. She sent me a picture, because she just sent me a text, she's like, I did something, and I knew she was going skiing, so I was like, uh-oh, and then I asked, like, are you okay? And she just sent me a picture, and I saw her right leg just sitting forward, and her right leg is like, when she was a kid, she lives in Sudbury, Ontario, and she, unfortunately, my mom, when she was like 2, about to turn 3, like very, very, like, early on in her conscious, kind of like being led on, by just her babysitter and whatnot, her friends, playing like a 6-year-old's basically game of tag. She fell off a fucking... there was a fence, and there was a hole in a fence, and this fence fell off like it was like a driveway, but then the house above was on a bit of a hill, and so there was like a wooden kind of step in a way, or steel step in a way, and so she just fell 15 feet and broke her right femur. So thankfully, at least this knee injury is on her left knee, which... Yeah, I was talking to my grandma, and I said, you know, if this is an MCL on her right knee, like any ligament on her right knee after a broken femur at 2 that's fucked her up severely the rest of her life since, I don't know, it probably would have required surgery. Just I feel, at least, and maybe that's not scientifically true. In the left knee ligament, at least it's a new tear, you know, it's a new knee. So she's going to the hospital tomorrow because she drove back from, I think it was Cal-fucking-Bogey, which isn't that big of a hill, but whatever. All praise due to God. No, I'm not religious, but like, at least she's okay, you know. Like when she first said I did something, I was like, oh God, did she break her fucking head, get a concussion, did she fucking snap her hip? But like, but no, at least it's a ligament issue. I've gone through a serious ligament issue in my elbow. It sucks, but at no point was it ever a worry of it being a fatal injury, and that's always been dope. Like, at least I didn't get hit with a comebacker and it blew my fucking brain out, you know, like, you know. At least I just blew a fucking ligament out of my arm, you know. She blew a ligament out of her knee. She didn't die. It sucks, but, you know, she'll be walking again in time. You know, she'll get there. Crazy stuff, though. Like, when I heard that, my heart just instantly dropped. I was like, oh, fuck. She's not walking for a little while. She's gonna be chilling out. And, dude, she called me, or I called her, I think. And, oh, man. her voice. Just, it sounded not drunk, not like morphined, but kind of a mix. And it wasn't sober, and a mix of that and shock. And so it was just like the most giggly voice ever. Like, I remember when I tore my UCL back in Ohio in July 5th, 2019. I was on the bench, and dude, I asked to go back in the game. Like, I don't want to sound like some bitch ass, like, oh, I was like, no. I thought I was getting my next at bat, and then I thought, because we only had 9 fucking players in Ohio, and so when I went down with the UCL tear, which I didn't know at any point was a UCL tear, I just went, ow, pain, and then threw again, and went, oh, fuck, this is bad, I'm done. And then I went on the bench, and they're like, we don't have any players besides, oh, fuck, and I was like, I'll play first, and I almost went into first, except for, okay, if Callum Belshaw hears this, prayers to your dad, because he was like, dog, he said to our head coach, like, look, this could be, you know, and I don't think this is worth the risk. And then he was like, all right, fine. And I was like, all right, thank God. Like, in a way, looking back, like, I'm sat here thinking, thank God. Like, imagine if I played first base with a torn UCL that I then used to throw another high fastball that just destroyed my nerve for, like, a year. What the fuck? It would have been tragic. But at least my mom, she fell. It's fucked, but no surgery, unlike me, which is great for her. Because even today, like, I'm getting really good with my arm, but fuck me, man. The scar on my elbow, even right now, is just constantly of just fucking pain, just burning pain. It sucks. It absolutely stinks. Like, even almost 4 months in. I think it's, today's what, the 27th it's about to be? It's midnight tonight, so I think it's about to be the 26th or the 27th. In that case, 27th would be exactly 4 months from surgery, and I still got constant so thank God my mom's not getting surgery. Alright, after that little intro, because man oh man, that was scary, about my mom getting hurt as fuck, but medial collateral ligament, one of the smaller ligaments in your knee, still a very important ligament, but one of the smaller ones. They're going to check if she broke bones. Hopefully she didn't. Further updates shall enter this this podcast. But man, I'm struggling to move on from that topic. If I think I'm honest, after a little cut there, I think I'm honest. The next thing I want to do with this little podcast here, like right now, I'm recording on top of, I think, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 6 books, and then 1 DVD case. I got Band of Brothers, 5 history books, a calculator set, and the Holy Bible is what this mic is standing on. And then my computer, like, obviously there's no webcam or anything to this, which I'm buying very soon. I can't wait to upgrade this a little more. Like, if y'all can see me while I do this. No, I'm kidding, but like, seriously, it'd be funny as fuck, man. It'd be awesome if you could actually see me while I'm talking. I look a little weird while I do this, I won't lie, but it'd be fun at least. Yeah. Just general improvements to just quality of life on this bitch, you get me? I know the presentation isn't perfect. I'm an 18-year-old who's fucking trying his best, but, give me some time and I'll perfect the setup. I'm still fucking figuring out a new house and how to set up my room. I'm about to do massive not renovations, but the whole ass, like, the bed's probably going to change again, the fucking dresser's going to change again, the closet's going to change again, the desk's going to change again. Fucking TV might get moved. All types of shit might happen, man. All types of shit. So, it's interesting, man. You know what's shitty? Like, I thought with Kingston right now, and sorry for tapping a baseball cap against the microphone, I'm sorry. But you wanna know what's shitty in fucking Kingston right now? It's only like -5 today. It was minus like 15 to 20. Well, like, through the day, probably -8 to -12. Like, it was still a fucking chilly boy, especially with the wind. But then nighttime, it was like -20. Like, it was a good -20, -25, you feel? And, it was, I think, +3, +4 the whole day yesterday. That's some horse shit, man. Our fucking outdoor rink melted. I was having fun with that. I could stick handle like a regular ass motherfucker, basically. Like, there was some pain after, but it felt amazing while I was stick handling, you know? I could go basically all in and try. Like, I'm rusty, obviously, but I could try my best, and it was amazing. Now it's melted. And the lake, for example, like, I have never once seen, I lived in Burlington for 18 years. I have never, ever, ever once seen Lake Ontario freeze. I've gone to my cottage that my grandparents used to have in Lake Huron, and it would freeze. Sauble Beach, that is, it would freeze in the winter. But Lake Ontario in Burlington, I've never once seen it freeze. And you can correct me if you've seen it freeze. That's respects. But I've never once been to Lake Ontario in the winter in Burlington and seen it freeze. Kingston, man. Dude, the whole fucking bay. I think it's called Seaside Bay is the one near my house. And holy fuck, bro. The whole thing for about 250 meters to 300 meters of the bay was just pure ice. Like 9 to 10 inch deep or thick ice. It was crazy. It was a beautiful, beautiful ice surface. Oh man, I mean, skating on it was just orgasm. It was so smooth, smoother than any ice that I've ever been on a pond hockey rink. It was honestly brilliant. And I have an outdoor rink at our house too, as I mentioned, but skating on that too, I mean, my brother, he was just in tune with it. What's sad though is there are other places in Kingston. Man, unfortunately, there were people that went through. I'm not sure if there were any fatalities, but I know for sure that there were rescues that needed to be launched, so that's tough. But, you know, I hope it stays cold at least for another month, because I'm not done playing hockey outside, man. I'm really not. There's another rink near my grandmother's house, about 5-10 minutes away from us, and I haven't been on it yet, but my dad and my brother said it's beautiful. We went and checked it out. It was fucking Todd, so that's a tough sell. That's a tough sell, sorry. And I mean, I hope tomorrow is like -10 again, -15. Like, I'm not hoping for a -25 or -20. I think we're out of that now. But I would like to be proven wrong, you know what I'm saying? I need some cold weather back. And I need some snow. We've had rain. That's the thing. Like, the day that it was 5 degrees, it didn't just come with a little 5-degree warm stinker. It was raining and it was pouring. It was terrible. I hated it, man. You couldn't go outside. No runs, no walks. You couldn't do shit, man. It sucked. You had to stay inside and just do everything inside all day, which I hate doing in this house. Because what the fuck am I gonna do in this house all day? I gotta leave, go get some exercise, do my thing, you know? It sucks. Kingston, man. It's got its ups and it's got its downs. Y'all ever just contemplate the world ending? What do you think it's gonna be like when it actually happens? Do you think it's gonna be some type of fucking atmospheric destruction? Do you think it's gonna be social media, like my Snapchat going off, taking over, becoming sentient? No, I'm kidding, that would have to be AI. What do you think it's gonna be? Do you think it's gonna be a war that goes into some nuclear weapon type shit? You know, I mean, what could it be, man? I don't think it'll be some stupid shit like zombies or an alien invasion. I don't think it's entirely possible that we're the only planet that has life, but it is entirely fucking possible. We just have absolutely no idea, you know? It'd be cool if we weren't, though, you feel me? That'd be some crazy shit. Man, oh man. I think if we were gonna go, I think it would be a super volcano, if I'm honest. There hasn't been a super volcano or a mega volcano go off in, man oh man, forever. You know, something like a Yellowstone or some bitch in Iceland or Italy. You know, that shit could go off and go crazy. And, shut out, you know, food and everything. And then I think the human race would still go on, but, you know, if something bad happened after, like if the second one went off, or if after that, you know, somehow nuclear power survived, not somehow, it probably would, and then, you know, directly after, somebody said, alright, we need to colonize, and then boom, 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 it could lead to something like that, or like a China or a fucking Iran or an India or a France are still alive, and a fucking UK is still alive, and they get doomed after the fucking bomb or after the explosion of the volcano. But what do I know? I'm geeked. Just man, oh man. Speaking of zombies, man, I think Call of Duty Zombies. I don't know how Cold War is, man. I can't play it yet with my arm. I don't think it's the shit yet for me. But I've seen a lot of gameplay of Die Maschine and that fucking Firebase Z map. I haven't seen Outbreak yet, but Firebase Z too. And they're okay, man. They're no Origins, they're no Eisendrache, they're no Crovey, GK, or Shadows of Evil, or fucking Ancient Evil off BO4, even though that game's trash. Or fucking Call of the Dead. Can I talk about Call of the Dead for a little bit, man? Okay. I'm not sure about the whole cast, but I know my man Danny Trejo, who I just saw in the SpongeBob movie, is in that map. There's a woman who's pretty hot in that map. There's 2 other dudes in that map. And then there's George Romero, a director in that map, who becomes a zombie. And he becomes a boss. And a lot of people hate that map, which is in a fucking sick, frozen wasteland of a map. At a lighthouse, by a shipwreck that's just frozen into the fucking earth. And the Easter egg involves them getting Takio, Nikolai, Dempsey, and Richtofen out of a fucking vault that they're trapped in, and then you get the Wonder Waffle for it, and all the perks. I mean, this map, the Scavenger too, or not the Wonder Weapon, the Wonder Waffle, man. The Wonder Weapons are the Scavenger, which is sick. You get the VR11. I don't know about that bullshit Tegder and Toten in BR4, or Tegder Toten. I had torn my UCL, I couldn't play it, but Call of the Dead originally, man. I mean, the atmosphere on the map. I mean, you climb the lighthouse, sorry. I mean, the introduction of Deadshot. There was another perk. Stamina Up, I believe, was the introduction on that map, too. PhD was on Ascension. Oh, no. Stamina Up was on Ascension, too, was it not? But Deadshot was Call of the Dead. The VR11 was sick with the revive ability and with the turn the zombie into a human ability that lures them away. Kind of a precursor to something like, oh no, the crossbow was already in the game, but maybe the baby can even, shit like that. I mean, it's very cool. That map is sick, man. I mean, I can't get over the atmosphere. I'm just picturing it right now. It's such a snowy, desolate, foggy map, but then it becomes open and beautiful. Black Ops 1 is not a very good looking game. If you look at the original Nuketown, even though it plays amazingly, it's not that good, man. It's classic, but it's not that good looking, especially on the inside of the fucking orange house. And then you got, I mean, Kino, it doesn't look that good. It's got a perfect setting and a perfect feel to it, and the lighting's brilliant, but it doesn't look that good. The FPS is amazing, but it doesn't look that good, especially on the stage sometimes. It's not that pretty, dog rounds are not that pretty, man. Ascension is the same. It's very not pretty until BO3 when it gets remastered, I mean, like Moon is terrible looking in Black Ops 1. I love that map. It looks like fucking garbage in BO1. BO3, one of the best looking maps of all time. Dude, the place with the space dog shit, where it's in the hacker, I believe, where you find that, or one of the places where you can find that, it's like fans in BO1, and then it becomes like this aquarium type room or some shit, or like fuel storage. It's so cool, man. It's just, it's kind of a testament to how shit BO1 graphics are, yet Call of the fucking Dead master races it to just, I mean, when you're on the ship, it's just, the wind kind of dies down, but it doesn't really. The zombies kind of, they look a little bit better when you're inside of like a carriage on the ship, or like an indoor room. The freezing of the windows, everything looks perfect. Man, it's just, I miss it, man. I miss like the Giant. I mean, that's another winter theme map that looks pretty. I mean, Die Machine's there, but is it really there, man? I mean, No. The unfortunate truth is no. It's good, but it's not that good, you know? I mean, even Setsubo no Shima is better than BO4 and BO5, and Setsubo no Shima can be tedious as a living hell at sometimes. It can be gorgeous, but it can also be tedious. And, this map is just... It's unfortunate, man, that's all I can really say. In BO5, these maps are just unfortunate. BO4 especially, I mean, you got 9, you got fucking... You got Ancient Evil. I guess Dead of the Night's okay. I guess Alpha and Omega's okay. But I never played it because I tore my UCL. I guess Hector Toten's okay, but I never played it because I tore my UCL. But like Blood of the fucking Night, that map is, not Blood of the Night, Blood of the Dead, sorry, the Mob of the Dead remaster, reimagining. It's so horseshit, man. That map is garbage. It's total fucking dick. It's just a piece of shit, to be honest with you. Mob of the Dead is one of the top 2 best zombie maps of all time. Fight me any day. And, it's just the atmosphere. There's no better atmosphere in zombies, in my personal opinion. Maybe Gorod, Grovey, or Origin. No, Gorod, Grovey isn't close. Gorod, Grovey is not close. It doesn't, like, it gets Stalingrad okay, but it still looks too pretty, you know? I don't know, man. It is pretty war-torn. It is very war-torn, but, I don't know. Maybe 5, the Pentagon. I don't know, Mob of the Dead, man, is just unmatched. Oh, never mind, it is not unmatched. You want to know what map is right on par in atmosphere with Mob of the Dead? Transit, no, I'm kidding. Die Rise, no, I'm kidding. It's actually Shadows of Evil. Shadows of Evil pulls off that Chicago style and that, Shadow Man-y, like, early 1900s kind of badass, like, not Scarlet, what's her name? Oh man, she's the prostitute. She's actually like, what the fuck's her name, man? Like that character is executed perfectly. The other 3 dudes are executed perfectly. The Shadow Man, the Apothecans, the introduction of them bitches is sick as fuck. I remember one of my homies when Black Ops 3 came out, he's like, what's with the worms? What's with the squids? I'm like, nah. Don't get all uptight about this shit. This shit is dope as fuck. Don't trip on this shit. Margwas are crazy cool. Like, the meatballs are a little weird, but the Margwas, oh yeah, baby. I don't know. I can't wait to play zombies again, man. I can't wait to play so many things again, man. Fucking Zelda. Oh, baby boy. Can you imagine Mr. Loader on fucking Wind Waker? I mean, I got 4 dungeons into Ocarina time, and then I tore my UCL. Like, it's tragic, man. I have Majora's Mask waiting on the 3DS. I have Ocarina of Time waiting on the 3DS. But I don't have a 3DS, but I'm waiting to get a job, so I can buy a 3DS. But I need to be healthy first so I can get a job. And then when I get a job, I need to be healthy enough after the fact so I can play video games constantly. And then I can get fucking, like, not constantly, but, like, consistently, like, not hurt myself. You know what I'm saying? And then I can, like, for a consistent period enough, too, to actually fucking beat a Zelda game that takes forever to beat, too. Man, oh man, I can't wait. Recovery is interesting, but even just talking about getting better makes it feel better, you know what I'm saying? There were some bad times, of course, in the recovery, but, you know, I mean, what can you do? It's life, man. I mean, I'll tell one funny story quickly about the day I had surgery. You know how we're going through this terrible thing called COVID-19? Yeah, this fucking pandemic that's global. Yeah, so my hospital that I was at, the Scarborough Health Network in Toronto on Ellesmere Road, it has strict COVID guidelines. If you're having a surgery of any kind, you bring one family member in COVID, to drive you home, understand? So, my grandma came, but then my uncle came because he wanted to make sure I was cool. He lives in Toronto, and he wanted to plan on driving me home, right? Which was great of him because my grandma can't drive, but that's besides the fact. Right, okay. Dan, my uncle, prayers to that man. My grandma goes, alright, well, I'm gonna go let him come upstairs, right? Okay. Let him come upstairs. That means she stays outside in the car for 15 minutes, has her lunch or whatever. After I've had surgery, like I've woken up, I'm fucked at this point. My elbow is 400,000 pounds. It just feels like a giant rock, you know what I'm saying? With massive cuts in it and massive bones that are going bum 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 bum. It just feels terrible. And but I'm geeking on Percocets and fucking fentanyl. But my grandmother, oh my goodness, my grandmother, she goes, alright, I'm gonna go let Dan come upstairs. She gives Dan her pass like he's already been in the hospital. He walks in, flashes the wristband, goes upstairs, and then instead of waiting, which was not, like, this was already stupid because he could have just gone in, got a pass normally, like he was a new fucking person. You know what I'm saying? So he just went in with her pass as if he had already been in the hospital that day. Crazy shit. And then my grandma I'm laughing thinking about this. My grandma followed him in and got a new fucking she got a new fucking bracelet to come on the elevator so that they could both go up and see me at the same time. My nurse wasn't in the room, and I'm just sat there like just dead. And then my uncle enters the room, and I'm just like, oh man, what's up? Like, how are you? We shake hands with my right hand, obviously, and it's just, man, how are you? He's like, how are you feeling? You know, he's had hip surgeries and stuff. He's had both hips replaced. He's had knees done and whatnot too. You know, he's had a life, man. He's 61, 62, maybe 60, and so he's had a life, you know. And Dan, he's in here, and then I go, oh, what, Wheezy? What were you doing here? And she goes, well, I wanted to come too. And then fucking on beautiful prompt, the nurse walks in right after and goes, hey, whoa, why are there two of you? And then he looks at her and he goes, like Dan looks at her and goes, you know, it's tough, man. She came up here. And like, he literally looks at her and when it's tough, she's up here now. And she just goes, well, I went in and I got a new bracelet, and she's like, no, ma'am, I'm sorry. That's not how it works. We're in a pandemic right now. You're only allowed one visitor. I was already being kind to you and saying you could leave and another new visitor could come up, which we usually don't allow, but I was being kind to you. And then Dan was like, oh, I understand. Wheezy, why did you do this, right? Like, to my grandma. And she was like, well, I want... And I was like, Grandma, leave. And I just kind of like, I sat up for the first time since I had surgery, besides just laying there like sprawled out. And I just sat up like at the tiniest bit. It was like, Grandma, stop, leave. And she was like, well, I, and I was like, oh my goodness, alright, whatever. And then my uncle left, and it was just a clusterfuck. I loved it though. I mean, well, I can't say I loved it. It was an experience. So, like, I'll never forget it. I mean, I'll save it because I want to talk about that whole experience in full in another entire podcast. But that was memorable as fuck, man. I'll never ever forget getting Tommy John surgery. And I know that my loader blood is gonna make me have another surgery for sure in life. Some kidney's gonna fail, or some fucking liver's gonna. Yeah, well, liver failure is probably death, but like, something's gonna happen, man. I'm gonna tear a hip, or break a hip. Something's gonna happen, man. You know, like, I'm a loader, man. We all have fucking surgeries. My dad and his brother are probably two of the only loaders in the entirety of loader history who have never had a surgery. I mean, my mom's had like 3. I've obviously had 1 now. My grandpa's had 2, I believe. His brothers, I mean, one of them's had 2, one of them's had 4, one of them's dead. He died at like 48 or 52, like, rip. Yeah. Just, I mean, the crazy thing is, I mean, their great-grandfather, their father, my great-grandfather, Leonard Philip Loader, who served in World War II, he, I don't believe, ever had a surgery, which is miraculous to think that he served in North Africa, served in France on the push to Germany, and never needed a surgery, anything, never got wounded. I mean, damn, good for him, you know? Rest in peace to that man. I just, you know, thinking about it, I mean, I can feel my hips, especially my groin area too, like something's gonna tear there someday. I'm gonna be doing something, you know, and I'm gonna go, this is gonna tear, you know, I'm gonna be like 45, you know, maybe even earlier, and just, pop, 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 pop. Game over, man. Well, not game over again, I said with my ligament, I mean, at least it's not death, you know, but it still sucks, I mean, again, but at least it's not fatal, you know. You read even about motorsport stories, you know. I read about Jim Clark's death, or you read about, what's his name, Wolfgang von Trips, man. Oh my god, Wolfgang von Trips was battling with the late great Jim Clark and the late great Wolfgang von Trips. This man, they're about to go around kind of a hairpin U-turn bend, and they're battling for position side by side, but then I believe Jim Clark oversteered, or Wolfgang von Trips oversteered, and then I can't laugh, but it's terrible to think about. It's terribly dark to think about, and kind of like you have to laugh about it in some sort of way, just thinking about how horrible it used to be, and how I'm comparing this to a UCL tear. But he went flying off the track. His car didn't have seatbelts back in '61, and so he went flying out of his car, flip, flop, fucking squish, and his car exploded into the stands with 15 fucking spectators dead. I mean, could you imagine seeing that? Like, imagine watching a Formula 1 race. Like, Romain Grosjean, for example, survived a ridiculous crash at Bahrain this year, where his car literally turned into a fucking missile that exploded into a ball of pure fuel not jet flames, but car fuel flames. And, it was an inferno, and he somehow managed to get himself out, stay conscious at a fucking impact at 144 or 164 miles an hour. It's just ridiculous speeds. I think he was going 224 kilometers an hour, whatever that is in miles per hour. 224 kilometers an hour into a fucking terrible concrete barrier that failed on him. His car went through it. If it weren't for the halo, he would not be alive. His head would have hit the barrier in the same way as Francois Sever back in the 70s, and he'd be dead, unfortunately. But just, he survived that. And you think back and, like, just think about today if that crash instead were into a little catch fence that had fucking 10,000 fans there, and fucking 200 just went up in an inferno. If that crash happened in the 50s, that's what would have happened, man. It would have been another Le Mans fucking 55. It's just, you know, I can't compare that. Like, that's why I say, that goes to anybody out there, I mean, who might be struggling with anything really, but an injury too. Like, even if you got, a back injury that's really killing you, or a hip injury, or a shoulder injury, or a neck injury even, or a fucking concussion, man. The concussions are scary. Don't even play with that. But just know, man, for the most part, and you might have a fatal concussion, but for the most part, I mean, those style of injuries, at least for a decent while, are not fatal. They might ultimately lead to a fatal conclusion to your life, where, his spine problems led to his, 62-year-old death kind of thing, right? But you still, at least it's not a fatal, holy shit, I fucking, my parachute failed, or, I played Russian roulette drunk. Like, I don't know, man. You know, however you want to die. You know, I jumped off a fucking building. I climbed a skyscraper thinking I was Hulk. Some bullshit, man. I mean, it's an adventure, this life, man. And you know, stay healthy as long as you can. Stay vigilant about your health as long as you can, because once you're on all kinds of prescription medications, once you're stuck in a nursing home, it's game time, bro. You're done. Like, nobody's coming to visit. For the most part, nobody is fucking coming to see you. You're spending maybe 2 days a month with humanity. Otherwise, you're dead. Like, you're dead, but you're a dead man walking. You know what I'm saying? Like, you're basically living in hospice care without living in hospice care. And like, human beings, you know, I mean, if you live truly healthy, there's a chance you can make it to 80, just 90, even just walking on your own. There was a man, I mean, a shining bright example. He lived, I think his name was Paul, and he lived in Sable Beach, where my cottage was. And I remember until we were 11, well, I was 11, when my grandparents sold the cottage. This man, at the time when we moved, was 97 fucking years old. Think about that. 97. This man went for runs every day on the beach. Think about that. 97. Genuinely think about that. I would be 8, 9 years old, and we'd be walking the beach, and we'd see Paul. Think about that. Life can be a crazy thing, man. Life can be a beautiful thing. If you make it to 97 and you're still living that beautifully, just, I mean, like, your heart, how can your heart take that at 97? It's beat just constantly for so many years, and you're still just putting it through work and training it. It's beautiful, man. It's honestly, if I am at that point ever, which I doubt, man. Like, it's such an achievement, man. It's so, and I'm not sure if that man is still alive today. That was 2013 when they sold that cottage. I wouldn't be shocked if he was not still alive. But in that same regard, I also wouldn't be shocked if he was alive, you know. He's an interesting man, that man. And there's many like him. There's many like him. I hope you strive to be, and I hope I can, you know, do my best to strive to be somebody like that, man, who can really keep control of themselves and really be themselves for a century of time. That's amazing. That's amazing. Stay healthy. You know, hopefully COVID, I mean, I got no idea about a vaccine or nothing like that. I'm some kid who sat here kind of booped on Friday, now Saturday at 12:30 in the morning night. And I don't know when COVID's going to be gone. I had terrible anxiety when COVID started, man. I didn't see a single friend besides one kid. I saw one kid, I think 3 times on walks, until maybe like mid-April. And then after that, I didn't see anybody again. Like, I saw nobody besides him 3 times from, I want to say, like, March 10th, 11th-ish, because you gotta remember, I was not going to school. My nerve was a dastardly little fuck, and I was done. Like, I was sleeping 2-3 hours a night max. Like, that was lucky. Like, I'm not kidding. It was lucky to get 2, 3, 4 hours of sleep. And I was a zombie. I was it was terrible. And I wasn't in school. And I'm doing online now, obviously, to graduate, which is some blessed shit. But it sucked at the time. It was terrible. And
damn, I lost my train of thought, man. That got me thinking about my mental state back in that time, and fuck me. Fuck me. Jesus Christ, that was a wreck. But what can you say, man? I mean, sometimes I see, like, memories on social media that come up 1 year ago today, or, 1 year ago today, basically, and I've been seeing those constantly since the 1 year anniversary back on July 5th, 2020, which is a long time ago again now, and, I just keep seeing these memories, but not of the actual injury, because again, the injury is not fatal, the injury is not that, like, it's severe injury for sports, but it's not a severe injury on your life, and, I would just keep seeing these things of me, it's like a Snapchat memory that I've saved or something, or that I put on like a private story, and I'm just like, man, this is terrible, like, I can't believe this was me a year ago, man, I can't believe, like, my brain wrote that, and was in that headspace a year ago, man, it's just trash, like, I fully understand that headspace, but it's just trash. It sucks to think about it. I mean, I'm really not that much better now, if I'm honest with you. Like, I'm better, but I still treat myself like shit. On a personal note, I'm respectful to myself, but, well, I wouldn't go that far. But, damn, I got honest real quick. But, yeah, man, I don't know. It's tough loving yourself, man. Like, do your best is all I can say. Do your best. Yeah, that's really all I can say about that. Is just do your best to love yourself as best you can. I mean, again, that life where you manage to face so little stress and manage to live such a constant routine of beauty, basically, and valor, even, that you're pushing through with exercises and pushing through with healthy meals and pushing through with a nice love life and a beautiful woman to kind of reside with, and you make it to 100 years old, man. I mean, that's what you want to be striving for, man. I mean, maybe, like, you don't necessarily have to strive to make it to 100, but just a good safe, like, not a safe necessarily life. You could do some crazy shit, man. You could go to you might be someone who's from a foreign country, and you might want to go back and help, join a political party there, or something, because your parents immigrated and you want to go back to where you were originally from for, say, the first 15 years of your life and try and build that country, something like that. You might do something big, but you might also just want to, I don't know, become, I was going to say tell a man, like one of those people who go, "Oobadoo, do you have your phone set up for this call?" Like that kind of shit, But I couldn't figure it out. And on that note, with that ridiculous ending of just kind of incoherent, I'm so tired. I got a little honest there at the end, but that's cool, man. I'll be doing that pretty often from time to time. I'm a pretty open person in that regard. I don't mind talking about it. It fucking helps, because I got who the fuck to talk to in Kingston, Ontario, right? So, yeah, man, this is kind of cool. It's another pretty decently solid podcast, but I'm exhausted, man. I'll be honest with you, I'll probably head off to sleep after maybe a few tracks, maybe like some Tame Impala or something, and some Zelda music too, and then hit the hay. Yeah, buddy, in the Betty by might go see my cat too, See my cat could be a fun time right now, and that's about it, man. Brush your teeth, obviously, helps you stay healthy. Maybe even wash my face before bed. I don't usually do that, but just with water. Like, you don't have to put fucking face wash on before bed, but give it a little sprinkle. Alright, on that note, how about I actually go do that? I'm gonna go take a sprinkle pinkle out of the whizzer with my dick, because I'm not jerking off. Okay, maybe jerking off, but peeing too. I'm kidding, I wouldn't say that. But, nah, seriously, I gotta go pee really badly. And I gotta get some water, and I'll go brush my teeth and head to bed. So, you motherfuckers stay safe, as I just said. You know, life can change in a second. I found that out with my elbow, and my mom just found that out today. But yeah, man, have a great night. Stay safe, and I don't know. See you soon.